Hello friends, myself Ronit Sharma, and today I will tell you how to make a simple model by using thermocol of the myosin motor muscle contraction or sarcomere muscle contraction. So friends, as you can see, this is my model. What I have done, I have made it just by using thermocol sheets. You can see this is thermocol, this is Z line. I have made this by thermocol, and this one is also from thermocol, which is actin protein. Let's see friends, you can see here an actin protein, and this is the thermocol sheets. What you need just to first make a plain thermocol sheet, then cut this type, this one, and this one. This is Z line, this is M line, and this is also Z line. So friends, as you can see, this is actin protein, which I have colored by blue color. Then this is myosin protein. As you can see, it is thin, so it is thin filament, and this one is thick filament. Okay, so friends, it's working model. As you can see here, I have put a stick and between the Z line so that I can rotate it back and forth. You can see this one and this one, this type and this one. And friends, you can see these threads. This is titin protein, which attach the Z line to the myosin protein. Same thing applies here. Now this middle piece is the M line, to which the M bands are attached. So this all is made from thermocol sheets, and I put tissue paper just outside it to make it colorful. So let's explain in short. So as you can see, this is up to here. This is A band. So A band contains both thick filament and thin filament, and this one is I band, only here, and in between A band and I band there is C zone here, up to here. You can see C zone, and the space here, that is, there is no any actin protein, only myosin protein is present, or thick filament is present, which is called as Hansen zone or H zone. So next thing is, let's see this model more carefully. This one is stick. I have put a stick and pursed inside this one. This is it Z line, so that you can move here, here, here and here in this manner. Okay friends, now same thing here, M line. I have just stick here by using glue, and this is nothing but thermocol sheet, so you can represent your model in a best manner. Now same thing here, I can show you in more detail. This one, first cut this type of thermocol sheet, then cut by using this type thermocol sheets, then after put tissue paper on it, and you can make it colorful like this one, also this one and this one. Now friends, what's the actually happens during muscle contraction? So friends, as you know, muscle contraction theory is proposed by Huxley, or also called sliding filament theory. I will discuss it later, but first you should aware about the structures, different kinds of structure. So friends, as you know, this is actin protein or thin filament. Thin filament mainly contains three parts: actin protein, troponin and tropomyosin. So friends, as you know, tropomyosin provides the hindrance, because the head of myosin slides over the actin filament, but due to the presence of tropomyosin, it can't be happen. So first thing is that we have to remove this tropomyosin. How it happens, I will tell you later. Next one is, it contains this thin filament contains tropomyosin and troponin. Troponin further consists of three parts: TPC, TPT and TPI. Now what these are? TPC, as the name contains C. So TPC helps the binding of calcium ions to the troponin. Now next one is TPT. TPT helps the binding of troponin to the tropomyosin. Now there another is TPI. TPI is just same like tropomyosin, and it provides the hindrance in binding of tropomyosin head to the actin. That's the structure of thin filament. Let's move towards the thick filament. This one is thick filament, you can see here, and is attached by titin protein to the Z line, and thin filament is attached by mapulin protein to the Z line, and this titin protein is present throughout up to the M line and then to the other Z filament. Now what happens here? Thick filament or myosin protein. As you know, myosin is filamentous protein. Now what the main structure of myosin? Myosin mainly contains two parts, head and tail. Now the most important part of the myosin protein is its head. Its head contains two activity. First one is ATPase activity, and another one is the attachment of the myosin to the actin. Let's say clearly, the head of myosin has two parts. The one part of the myosin head contains ATP and the other part binds to the actin protein so that it can move. So how this happens? By ATP molecules. So in normal state, the ATP is present in the muscle, or you can say in the myosin protein, head of myosin protein. Now this one is my M line, and friends, this is actually imaginary line to which the myosin protein are attached. Now you can see this one is up to here. A band, I band, C zone, Hansen zone or H zone. Now next one is the wall. The distance between one Z line to another Z line is called sarcomere. Yes friends, it's sarcomere, and which is the main unit of muscle contraction. The muscle contraction is only possible due to the sarcomere. So this is all about the sarcomere or the structure, and I think you can now easily make this type of model. It's nothing. Now next thing is how this happen. What's the process of myosin muscle contraction? Now friends, as you know, this can be explained by sliding filament theory given by Huxley. Now what's this theory said? As you know, the cell membrane, whole cell membrane contains the whole cell membrane was synaptic nerve or synaptic fiber. The synaptic fiber ends in the muscle membrane. Now what the synaptic fiber does? Synaptic fiber contains the acetylcholine, or the end of the synaptic node contains neurotransmitter which is called acetylcholine. Now what does acetylcholine actually does? As you know, the presynaptic node and postsynaptic node, acetylcholine is released from the presynaptic node and between the synaptic cleft, and then it moves towards the postsynaptic node where there is acetylcholine receptor. Now when it binds to the muscle, what then happens? When it binds to the muscle, there is sodium channels. It causes the opening of the sodium channel. Now action potential is generated due to this. This action potential travels towards the T tubule or rhodopsin receptor and then towards the sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the actual site of calcium ion. Now calcium ion will release from the calciquestrin protein and moves towards the myosin muscles. Now what happens? The calcium ion, as I said earlier, bind to the TPC part of the troponin, and it causes the removal of the TPI as well as tropomyosin, which provide the hindrance in the muscle movement. Now what the next happen? Let's see. As you can see, as normal, this is the normal state. ATP is present at the head of the myosin protein. So another thing is the ATP is required for the both contraction as well as relaxation of the muscle cell. Now what then happens? Let's see, moving like that manner. First thing is the ATP hydrolysis. When the muscle is in normal state, the ATP is present in it. There is hydrolysis, that is ATP will convert it into ADP and inorganic phosphate, and water will release along with it. Now what happens as the water released, then it partially binds to the myosin head in that manner. Let's say this is actin, head of myosin, or this is actin protein. It binds here. Now next thing is inorganic phosphate is released. As inorganic phosphate release, it binds very tightly to the actin protein. Now next thing is as the ATP is removed, now it moves in that manner. So you can say this is also called walk along theory, as the head of myosin slides over the actin. Now what then happens, if there is no another ATP, the muscle remains in the contracted state as happen in the dead people, and this condition is called rigor mortis. Now when next ATP will come, it will detach from the myosin actin and come to its normal state. This process goes on, and this is called power stroke. And one power stroke, and when the calcium ion return back to the calciquestrine or sarcoplasmic reticulum, which is the site of calcium ion formation. Now let's see it's working, this and this. You can see clearly. Now if ATP is not available, there is another source of ATP called phosphocreatinine, which is responsible for the lactic acid deposition in over muscle. In that manner, sometimes we feel the muscle fatigue. This is due to the unavailability of ATP or due to the not contraction of muscle. So this is about the whole model and how it can be made. So you can it easily made at your home. Thanks. Myself, Ronit Sharma.